I'm also glad that they are shaking up the automotive industry, because I do believe that your well-known brands have been taking their customers for a ride. Like when I look at some of these cars and how much they cost, it's like, please be for real. No one wants to drive an entire house. Like, hi guys, my name is Nokuhle Kumalo, and today I'll be covering some of these super affordable yet luxurious Chinese cars, and they all do come from China, so it is politically correct to refer to them as that. I'm talking about your Omodas, your Havals, your Cherys, Jetours, and many more. I have been asking myself a lot of questions about how affordable they really are, but also I want to remind you guys that money isn't the only thing you should consider when you're trying to buy a car. You should also consider safety, longevity, second-hand car market, as well as the repair market. Okay, let's get into it. So if you've got cash, so you're willing to pay for this car up front fully, you will just focus on the big amount. However, for those of you who will be financing or getting a loan to buy these cars, please note that to calculate the monthly installment, I have considered the following. I've assumed interest is at prime, which is 11%. I've also assumed you're financing this over 60 months or 5 years. There's no deposit and no balloon payment, and I've included a registration fee of 1,200 Rand. However, I have excluded extras like car trackers, insurance, service and maintenance plans, as well as any extras that you might like. When I'm searching for these cars, I do try to find the most entry-level version of the car. However, because we are looking at slightly luxurious cars, some of them do not have manual transmission, so it's up to you to check. So some are manual, but most of these will be automatic, which is great. Okay, let's get into it.
My name is Nokuhle Kumalo, and I'm a personal finance creator. Some of the videos I've made include how to buy shares, top 10 affordable cars, how to file your taxes, side hustles, interviews, you name it, I've done it. Note, these videos do not constitute financial advice. My aim is to plant the idea, it's up to you to water it.
First up, we've got the Chery Tiggo 4 Pro, which is 279,900 Rand, or a monthly installment of 6,112 Rand. I covered this car as one of the top 20 affordable cars in South Africa at the moment. However, the price has changed by like 10,000 Rand compared to what I saw last week when I did the video. So I think they change their prices quite frequently, so do make sure you are checking the website when you're ready to make your purchase. I also did note that there is a Chery Tiggo 2 Pro. However, this is not available in South Africa, so hopefully they bring it in for those of you who really want this car but can't afford the Tiggo 4. Next up, we have the Chery Tiggo 7 Pro. This is 442,900 Rand, or a monthly installment of 9,656. There's also the 7 Pro Max and the Tiggo 8 Pro, and all these cars are actually so confusing because they sound like iPhones, you know, the iPhone Pro Max and all of that. But you know, the higher you go up in numbers, the more expensive they are. So I just covered these two. If you are interested, do check out their website. Okay, by the way guys, I have grouped these according to the car manufacturer, so I'm going to cover all the Cherys, all the Omodas, all the Havals, and so on and so forth, so they will not be in chronological order, okay? Next up, we have the Omoda, starting off with the Omoda C5. This is 329,900 Rand, or a monthly installment of 7,199. This is a CVT transmission, which I had never heard before, but this basically means automatic. I love this car. I love the front grille. It looks so alien-like. It also looks like stars. Also, this car is known to be quite good with voice command. It has a beautiful interior, and something that really struck me is that their speakers are Sony. Okay, so good quality music, I can imagine. Next, we have the Omoda C5 GT. I struggled to find the price for this online. However, when you look at this car, it is similar to the C5, however more advanced. Okay, once you hear GT, just know it's more spec'd out. And in terms of looks, I love the spoiler. It looks like this car can fly. However, it seems pretty similar to the original C5. So now moving into GWM, here we have the Havals. First up, we have the Haval Jolion. This is 345,950 Rand, or a monthly installment of 7,548 Rand. So there are multiple variations of this car, and obviously the price will depend on whether you get it in auto or manual. The Haval Jolion is quite, popular. I've seen it a lot, especially in that color that's like a bit of a green. However, my favorite Haval is the Haval H6, but more so the H6 GT. Let's start off with the H6. The H6 is 492,050 Rand, or a monthly installment of 10,724 Rand. The Haval H6 GT, my fave, is 662,250 Rand, or a monthly installment of 14,425. I love the way this car looks. Okay, the first time I saw it, it was in Johannesburg, and I don't know what they were doing, but I think they were trying to confuse the public, because this car looks so much like a Lamborghini. Okay, and I love a Lamborghini. That is my dream car. I saw it on William Nicol. It was a Haval H6 GT as well as a Lamborghini, both in black, similar specs and everything, but they removed the words on the back of the Haval. So the Lamborghini was obviously written Lamborghini, but the Haval was just, you know, it was black, so I couldn't really see what car it was. And this was back in 2022 when these cars were still new, so I didn't know what it was. So I just thought, oh my word, these two Lambos are racing each other, how cool, friendship goals, blah blah blah. And then later on, when I obviously looked further, I was like, this is not a Lamborghini. So I don't know, I think I like that. And also, guys, you'll see a lot of these cars take a lot of inspiration from other very nice cars, but I'll show you. I promise I'll show you. Next up, we have the Haval H7. This is 601,950 Rand, or a monthly installment of 13,114 Rand. This is more affordable than the H6 GT, but it's not my type. It's too bulky. I'm not really feeling it. I don't know if you guys like this car. I haven't seen it physically, so maybe it's not as bad, but just judging from the pictures, not my type of car. And then just to wrap up GWM, where all the Havals fall under, there are other cars that they have which are quite, you know, futuristic. It's the P series, the P500. There's also a Steed or something. I've attached an image here because I think I don't want to go through all these calculations. I don't think you guys are that interested in vans, but you know, if you are looking for something like this that is bulky, that is manly, definitely do check it out. Now looking at the Jetour Dashing Momentum, I hope I said it correctly. Jetour, is it Jet Hour? I think it's Jetour. Anyways, this is 439,900 Rand, or a monthly installment of 9,591 Rand. So this car looks like a transformer. It looks like it's gonna change into Optimus Prime at a click of a button and then back down into a car, but you know, maybe my imagination is just running wild. Also, by the way, Jetour actually falls under the Chery holding group, so they don't classify themselves as Chery. They don't make it very well known. However, they are part of the Chery group, and as you guys start researching around your cars that you like, you'll see that a lot of these cars are actually quite related. So Chery holding group has a lot of cars. They have the Jetour, they also have the Jaecoo and Omoda. So they're quite and obviously the Chery Tigos, so they're quite a heavy brand, similarly to how, you know, we have Volkswagen Group, and in there we have Audi, we have obviously VW, the Polos and Golfs. We also have I think Lamborghini falls under that, Porsche, Bugatti, Bentley. I don't know what a Skoda is or a Seat is, but this just shows you that a lot of these cars are related and some of their parts are actually interchangeable. I know when you're buying parts for a VW, they'll usually have VW and the Audi sign. So when it comes to Chery and your Jetours and all of that, I think they were just trying to diversify. They knew they had different markets. Some people can afford this, others can afford this. Some people like, you know, basic looking cars, others like futuristic cars, so they want to capture the entire market. Moving on to BAIC or BAIC, I don't know how to say this one, but it's BAIC. And first up we have the Beijing X55. Love this car. This is 429,900 Rand, or a monthly installment of 9,373 Rand. The Beijing has beautiful seats, which are heated, and they also have like this memory function. So if you have multiple drivers using one car, you don't have to adjust the seat every time someone gets in. You just press the number of driver that you are. So if you're one, because you're the primary driver, press 1, it'll put it right at the perfect place where you know, depending on your height and, you know, your build. And then if someone else comes in and and they maybe drive it, you know, less frequently. They press 2 because that's what they saved. I like that, okay, especially because at home we have like so many cars, but it's also a thing of first come first serve. There's no allocated car. If you wake up early, you're gonna get the nicer car, and if you wake up late, good luck. So I like that because I hate that we always have to adjust seats. So that's a winner for me. Also, my parents love this car. Whenever they see the Beijing, they exclaim. And I actually saw it for the first time in person in December, and I really like it. Also under the BAIC brand is the B40 Plus SUV. This is 574,500 Rand, or a monthly installment of 12,517. This car is like a Jeep Wrangler. Honestly, it's like they bought a Jeep Wrangler, mimicked it, and then just slapped a new name on it. It's giving, yeah. The interior though, I'm not a fan of. It looks a bit weird. It's also trying to be a Mercedes inside with the little knobs by the radio, but it's not my vibe. But obviously this is an off-road car, so it can drive at weird angles, you know, that's the selling point. And the top can come off, so it's like a van that is islahla or a convertible. So if that's the type of car you like, if you're an adventurous person, maybe consider it. It's probably a fraction of what a Jeep costs, but I don't know how reliable it is. And now moving on to my last brand, which still falls under the Chery holding group. However, this is called the Jaecoo or Jaecoo. And I'm going to start off with the Jaecoo J7. This is 549,900 Rand, or a monthly installment of 11,982. So the Jaecoo and Omoda are like cousins. They are like the same type of car, just depends on the type of visuals you like. This car really reminded me of the Range Rover Sport, and that used to be my dream mommy car. I wanted to be a Range Rover mom, but specifically Range Rover Sport. So I'm surprised at how similar it is. I think I like it. And it has the retractable door handles, similar to the Tesla, and also similar to the Beijing. It's stunning. I really think it's stunning. I've never been in one though, so if you have ever been in one, or you've seen one, or you've seen one on like a mall showroom, let me know. Is it pretty in person? Does it drive well? And then lastly, I also found the Jaecoo J6. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a price for this on their website. You kind of have to like inquire, and I found that that's quite popular with these Chinese cars. Some of them don't have prices, so they want you to take that step of asking about it, which I don't like, because if you're buying a car, I want to know the price upfront. I don't want to do that DM for details like I'm buying a t-shirt and it depends on who's asking. Anyways, this car is so similar to the Land Rover Defender or the G-Wagon, but I'm not a fan of it too much. The front of it looks a bit like a toy, and just so you know, this is all electric, and it recently launched in South Africa end of 2024. So let's see if people actually buy it. I think because we are a country that has, you know, PTSD over load shedding, there's a slow adoption of electric cars. However, people might be super keen on it, so let's keep our eyes open for that. But that is it from me today. All I want to remind you guys is, obviously I know we've given you the costs, and some of these cars do look somewhat affordable for the luxury that they bring you, and I like that. Okay, I'm also glad that they are shaking up the automotive industry, because I do believe that your well-known brands have been taking their customers for a ride. Like when I look at some of these cars and how much they cost, it's like, please be for real. No one wants to drive an entire house. Like, what do you mean that car is 2.5 million? Get out. So I'm glad that this is happening, and I'm hoping that these other brands are also going to somewhat drop their prices, because people are not buying. And this is not something that I'm saying. Stats actually show that. So I read an article, and it said that the automotive industry is declining, and Standard Bank showed that the 2024 Q1 sales declined by 5.6% compared to the 2023 Q1. So it'd be interesting to see what the 2025 stats are. I'll let you guys know when I see that. And also, people are opting for second-hand cars more than brand new. However, when it comes to the Chinese cars, there has been an increase in purchase from 6% in 2022 to 7.4% in 2024. So they really have entered with a bang, and I believe they're here to stay. I know people are obviously concerned, and there's like a running rumor that, oh, a lot of women are buying these Chinese cars and women don't really care about certain things. But guys, I just want to say, get the car that you like and that you can afford. However, also please make sure that you are checking for safety. Also, read reviews from previous buyers just to see if they are having any issues, just that you're not getting a car that's problematic. And also make sure that you are checking like any collision tests that have been done. Remember, these cars aren't giving family cars, which means some of you or most of you will be transporting your children. The last thing you want is to be putting your kids in a car that is not safe. Okay? All the best. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. My name is Nokuhle Kumalo, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please tip me with a like, comment, and subscription.